Attack of the Clones. You've seen Star Wars series. I love the Star Wars series. They tell you so much info on those. It's actually very real because it reveals a lot of what they do. The whole breeding going on in these underground bases between humans and animals that are going on now. Also the clones that they have. They're chip implanted and soulless beings that are usually used to be the guards of these bases. The question these people never ask themselves in these underground bases, people that have talked about going to them and seeing them and being inside of them and seeing armed guards and blah, blah, blah. If they were so safe, why would they have armed guards all over the place? I mean, everywhere they go, they talk about having checkpoints where they're checked and searched for weapons and stuff. And there's people standing around with weapons, and they're not really sure what those beings are that they see because they're just cloned beings, chip implanted. They're not safe places to be. Why would they have armed security guards inside bases where the only people that have weapons are the security guards? Are they protecting you or keeping you in there? It's going to come to a point where they're just prisons. People are going to wake up and realize they're just in a prison. They're going to be the aliens' food. Question from a listener. I find it funny now all these politicians and journalists in the USA are trying to stop us from being in the Olympics in China by boycotting. I wonder how many countries would boycott the Olympics if they were here in the USA since the genocide in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're worried about Tibet and human rights. How about formaldehyde in the trailers and how we treated the Hurricane Katrina victims? I can't remember the last time that China has attacked another sovereign country or the last time they were in a war. What a bunch of hypocrites. Very true. Do as we say, not as we do. That's the whole thing about our government, is the hypocrisy, the blasphemy, the hypocriticalness. Question from a listener. On the 6 pictures of the beast or Antichrist, there are no names. Could you name them for us? Thanks again. You mean my picture on my website of the New World Order? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. That would be on the left-hand corner. The top is Sanat Kumra. In other words, Satan. The middle and the front is Maitreya. And then you'll see Jesus, which is Sananda. In the second row, the one on the left underneath Sanat Kumra is Saint Germain. Then you have it's the tall gray alien, which would also be Hatan. This Hatan. And then the one on the right corner, that's another picture of Hatan. That's one of the guys in the Ashtar Command. This whole Ashtar Command, I have links and pictures of them at SherryTalkRadio. Very good looking, very effeminate beings, these men. And that's one thing, they're effeminate, they're, what do you want to call it? Hermaphrodites. Yeah, because that's what the whole idea is with this white monoatomic gold, is to change our DNA into producing hermaphrodite children. No longer being male or female, just being both. Question from a listener. I heard that Lamar Smith is pushing for the national ID card. This card has the same principles that the chip has. What are your thoughts on this? I believe it is too close to a real thing to accept. It is, especially if they require you to put your forehead up to a machine to get a shot of your iris or a fingerprint or something. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. We've got 200 million illegal aliens driving in America's streets today. Drive without a license. They're not getting stopped and pulled over. And when they do, they just get slapped on the wrist. I would not get a national ID card if it was going to require an iris scan. Because I remember back actually doing a code on the ID card and was talking about that eye disease. And I mentioned the name, I don't remember it right now. From these iris scans, it's going to give these people an eye disease. Can't remember the name of it, but one good reason why I wouldn't get it. A lot of hype going on, the FBI issuing an alert for a false flag. Yeah, they're coming. I'm not going to get into that. Like I told you, I stay away from men's hype on this show. Because the only thing I want to reveal are things the Lord tells me to reveal. He can stand up other watchmen to warn the people of false flags coming or whatever. But that's their time. This is the Lord's time, this show, and I just talk about what He leads me to talk about. But basically, that's all I want to talk about tonight, folks. Just things I see coming. the Lord's timetable here. Some of you have been feeling it. If He's standing you up to get orgone out, get it out, because He's working on a time schedule. I can tell you that right now. He's definitely got a time schedule going on with certain areas that need it, and if they don't get it, then that's on whoever's head that didn't do it. Because He's definitely working on a time schedule right now with the orgone. I've seen that. What we don't see is what their plans are, and so we don't need to keep our eyes on Satan. We just keep our eyes on the Lord, Do what He tells you to do first, and then worry about what man's doing, what the New World Order agenda is doing, and, keep your focus on the Lord. The guidance, how He guides your spirit. He nags you. He urges you. You feel an urging to do something. That's usually the Lord. That's how He tries to wake us up. He gives you that urging. And then it'll go away, and then it comes right back. You get urged again. The urging never goes away. Eventually it'll just stop because He's tired of trying to talk to you. Usually, when you feel an urging, talk to Him. That's a perfect time because He's trying to get your attention and just go, and then try to hear His voice in your spirit. It's a still small voice in your spirit. Try to hear what His voice is saying to you. But yeah, when He's urging you to do something, He's trying to get your attention. And so it's a perfect time to just say, what is it you want me to do? Or just ask Him a question. And then just listen to what He says in your spirit, because it's a little small voice. Sometimes you have to strain to hear it. Because some of you are still in that process of trying to hear His voice and trying to learn how to hear His voice. And so, a time as of now, I can't think of a more important time than actually being able to hear His voice right now and be led by Him, so that even later, when necessary, He can lead you and your family to safety or something, because you can hear His voice. I'm going to read one last email, and that's going to be it for the show. And Revelation talks about John eating the scroll to prophesy at a later time. Do you think this later time it's talking about is as one of the two witnesses or in the millennium? The Lord's always been real quiet with me on this whole witness thing. And so I don't know. I could tell you what man says, what a man's answer is going to be, and blah, 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 but the only thing that ever matters to me is what the Lord says. I'm not real convinced about the two witnesses, simply because the Lord has been so quiet with me about them. And so I don't know. I wish I could just, rattle that one off. I know I hear from men all the time. I'm one of the two witnesses. And I have this club for men that's up to 3,000 of those claiming to be witnesses. One of the last two witnesses. There's only 2 spots, and then you got about 3,000 men all claiming to be one of them. And so I just, I guess that's not my job. That's not my area to know, because He's not telling me it. Now that I'm griping about it, maybe He will this week. I don't know. Wishful thinking, huh? That's just one area He's just been real quiet on. I don't see it in the codes. I don't see a thing about it. And so, till next week, everybody. Like I said, just stay focused and trying to hear Him in your spirit. If He's urging you to do stuff, get it done. Because we're definitely a lull before the storm. And when there's a lull, this is usually when the hype starts. Oh, there's going to be an attack. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen. And so, don't listen to hype. Listen to your spirit. Listen to the Lord's urging on what to do. Because hype is a dime a dozen. Hype comes and goes on the internet constantly. Oh, we're going to be attacked in April, and this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and, just listen for the Lord. I do see a boulder, an airdrop, a boulder hitting, and I don't know where it's going to hit. I don't know who's behind it. I just keep seeing it, and I can't explain it. And so, until I get more information on that, even if I do, if I don't, just keep pushing forward on what it is the Lord has you doing now. Until next week, everybody. God bless.